Hey there, so this will be a quick one. Just figured out a little trick on the washer, figured I want to share it. A lot of videos showing total disassembly of this machine to get to the parts that I'm replacing today. So I'll sneak in here for a little peek. That is the model number we are working on here. Let's see here. Come on now. There's a model number. This is not the style that has the strut rods on it. There's other models that have the strut rod that runs down the side here in the corners. Those look like you can get to from the top. This has got pads on the bottom and suspension springs only. So kit from the Jungle River website. It has quantity 3 of these plastic pieces, 3 of the black springs, and 1 shiny spring. Shiny spring goes here. Black springs go next to each pad. As shown by the metal on the floor, pretty confident that these pads are gone. I already got to one up here. Now what the YouTubes say is to take everything off the top and do this from the top side and pick up on this. So a whole bunch of sheet metal, take the drum off, a lot of farting around. I decided to just kind of roll her over, just a little bit of maybe a cup of water come out on the floor, have a rag ready, and there's not tension on these sides. So I'm gonna shimmy shuffle around. You can see I got my pliers shoved in here to give me a little bit of space. I'm gonna knock these out the bottom with a punch and then carefully stick the new springs in. That's a little bit of fun, but if you've done, reminds me of snowmobile exhaust springs. Sneak these guys back in there. In case you haven't figured out already, I do have the hoses disconnected and the power unplugged. Should go without saying. Snap those in there. And you got the spring out here. I took this out. I laid this down. It was sitting in kind of like that. The new springs have a little bit more of a hook on it, so they're a little bit more of a bear to get in. So a trick to getting this guy on there, I did end up going out in the garage and let's show you here. I'm trying to do this in a hurry. Clamp the spring down where these pliers are at. Took another set of pliers and just kind of open that up a little bit. The problem, I think, and I'll try and show the number of this kit, is not necessarily the shape, but the wire is probably an 1/8 inch too long on each end. So it makes it hard to get started in there. What combination of bending that guy and then just kind of, muffing that around. Now, if we go down to the first floor, obviously that guy we're not going to be able to get without rolling the washer over. So that looks like that's the worst one. You can see she's worn right down to bare metal. So we're going to roll this over 90 degrees or so and try not to get a whole bunch more water on the floor, and then we'll pop what's left of this pad out, which is not much, and put that last spring on. Well, that's that. We got our new pads in, we got our new springs in, the suspension, the other suspension spring up here. I don't really know what that guy does. It's so loose. Maybe because it's on its side? I don't know. If you don't know how to unhook a washer, tip it over safely, hook it back up, and check on it, then you probably shouldn't be doing this anyway. But we're going to put it back where it goes after we clean up the floor a little bit, and then get everything plugged back in, run a load, just make sure that there's no we're not making a lake in the basement or anything like that. So there you have it. Hey, one more quick thing before you finish this up and do your test run. Don't forget to level her out. Get in a hurry. You know, you want to just whoosh, get this pushed back with all your back muscles and move on to the next thing. But being on a level is, from what I understand, a pretty leading cause of wearing down your bottom parts there. So remember to go both ways. Whoosh, whoosh. Anywho, a little something different, but a quick fix. Hope that helps some folks out from, you know, taking the whole washer apart. I fought with the springs for the most part of this. If the springs would have fit in, I probably could have had this knocked out in 15-20 minutes. A lot better than having to, you know, take the whole top of the washer apart. If you poke around on some other videos, you'll see what that disassembly looks like. If you want to go that route, more power to you. But this worked for me. Till next time, keep it between the ditches. Adios.